Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that might make you rethink your protein intake. You've probably heard the buzz around protein powders and supplements, but what about the idea of eating less protein in general? It's a controversial topic, and it's got a lot of people curious. So, let's explore this together. First off, let's talk about why protein is so important. Protein is like the building blocks of our bodies. It's essential for maintaining muscles, repairing tissues, and supporting overall health. We get protein from a wide range of foods, including legumes, nuts, fish, eggs, dairy, and lean meat. Australian dietary guidelines recommend that around 15 to 25% of our daily energy should come from protein. Now, here's the interesting part. A new review of over 350 studies suggests that eating less protein might be linked to healthier aging. This review looked at both animal and human studies to understand how restricting protein and specific amino acids influences the biology of aging. The evidence suggests that eating less protein changes the way the body uses energy, helps cells remove damaged components, and reduces the buildup of aging cells. These biological changes are associated with healthier aging and longer lifespan in animal studies. But here's the catch. It's still unclear why these benefits occur. It could be due to eating less protein overall, less animal protein, or fewer specific amino acids. Or it might simply be that eating a healthier diet overall is the key. The review's main goal was to understand the biology of aging, not to provide dietary advice for humans. The strongest evidence for these benefits comes from laboratory animals. Studies in mice, rats, flies, and yeast showed that animals with lower protein diets often lived longer and showed signs of healthier aging. However, it's important to note that these animals live in tightly controlled environments where researchers can precisely manipulate their diets over their entire lifespan. This level of control is simply not possible in humans, and human biology is far more complex. Now, let's talk about the human evidence. There are some intervention studies where low-protein diets were compared with participants' usual diets, but these studies lasted only a few weeks. It's impossible to know whether restricting protein influenced people's lifespan or healthy aging in these short-term studies. Additionally, higher protein diets can help preserve muscle mass, especially in older adults, and when combined with resistance exercise, can reduce the risk of frailty and sarcopenia. But here's where it gets interesting. People don't eat protein in isolation. They eat food. For example, eating a lot of legumes and nuts will give you protein alongside fiber, healthy fats, and other nutrients. However, if you have a high-protein diet that comes mainly from red and processed meat, you may also be consuming a lot of saturated fats and salt. Large studies have linked eating a lot of animal protein, especially red and processed meat, with worse health and early death. This is why it's challenging to separate the effects of protein itself from the foods providing it or someone's overall diet. The other factors may explain why some findings about protein seem to conflict. It's crucial to consider the bigger picture. Let's look at some long-living populations. Research into long-living populations shows that focusing on one nutrient alone might be too simplistic. The Mediterranean diet, for instance, has strong evidence for healthy aging, but it isn't low in protein. It contains moderate amounts of protein from legumes, fish, and nuts, alongside plenty of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and olive oil, while limiting red and processed meat. On the other hand, the traditional Okinawan diet from Japan, which is also associated with healthy aging, contains relatively little protein. But it emphasizes plant foods like sweet potato and tofu and is low in calories. Both diets are linked to living longer, showing that isolating protein alone might miss the bigger picture. So, should you eat less protein? Based on this review, it's not a straightforward answer. The review explains how protein restriction might affect aging in laboratory animals, but it highlights how much we still don't know about how this translates into dietary advice for humans. The relationship between protein and longevity is far more nuanced than simply less is better. For now, the strongest evidence still supports meeting current protein recommendations, especially as we age. Instead of chasing the latest nutrition headline, aim to choose mostly minimally processed protein foods as part of an overall healthy diet. Remember, longevity is shaped by much more than diet. Regular physical activity, good sleep, strong social connections, managing stress, and not smoking all play a role in reducing our risk of dying early. In conclusion, while eating less protein might have some benefits, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's essential to consider the broader context of our overall health and lifestyle. So, stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating world of nutrition. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful content.